It is crazy to say that it's been just about 1 year since I've last been down here. And last year, if you guys watched the channel, last year I came down here to Oregon for my first ever western gray squirrel hunt. Fast forward 1 year later to today, we're back down here in Oregon doing my second western gray squirrel hunt. And more or less the procedure is the same. Last year we came and parked right at this spot when we arrived, and we got out, we ate lunch, and then we all just kind of went down the ridge and just kind of hunted for the late afternoon. And then after this, we're just gonna go back to where we were camped last year and then set up camp. But since we have a little bit of time right now to just kind of hunt, that's what we're doing. So my dad's already working his way down this ridge. My brother's still at the truck. And then I'm just gonna work down this ridge and see if we can't get lucky and shoot a couple western gray squirrel so that we can eat squirrel soup for our first night here. I totally forgot that those little guys exist down here. Those are called western fence lizards, and there's a lot of them. You walk around and you'll just hear them scattering along the bottom floor. But I think the really cool thing about those western fence lizards is when a tick comes and bites them, these lizards, they carry a protein in their blood that will actually help ticks get rid of Lyme disease. So these lizards here, they're our friends. You know, they will help cure ticks of Lyme disease so that if we get bit by ticks, we don't get contracted with Lyme disease from the ticks. Those little guys are pretty neat. This right here is a pine cone. These pine cones are huge, and this is actually a very common food source for the western gray squirrel down here. And because of how big these things are, when a squirrel eats this, these are like the remains of what that pine cone looks like. And if you just walk around at the base of some trees, you will just find a lot of these remains at the base of the tree. So the significance of that is it tells you that there are squirrels actively using the area. That way you can just sit down and just wait for that squirrel to hopefully show up again. Yeah, I don't even know where I stepped through to get plastered with all of this stuff. This stuff's pretty annoying if you ask me. We're gonna start driving up to where we're gonna camp. We have a lot of stuff to set up, so use this last couple hours of light to do that. Currently driving our way up to camp. We're about 300 yards away from camp, but slowly just been clearing out the road so that the truck and the trailer can make it through. But pretty much got up here, and it's time to set up camp. Janu's gonna back up the truck, back up the trailer, because where we're camped, it's a pretty tight turn, and when you have a trailer, you need to like elongate your turn, but we don't have enough space here to have a wide turn, so he's just gonna back the trailer into our camping spot. Our camping spot's really not a legitimate camping spot. I mean, this is basically it right here. This is just like an old road. I mean, granted, that's like a parking, like a road that just dead ends to park, but the main road just makes a circle around here. But it seems like nobody's here, so we have the whole camp to ourselves. So the main road is right here. The main road keeps going that way, but there's a little cutback right here. And right here is our four-wheeler. Got a rifle holder right here. And more room in the back if you want to put a backpack there. And then here we have our trailer. We pulled the trailer off of the truck. That way there's just not weight sitting on the back of the truck. And we do have our coolers still sitting here. And then again, toolbox, extra gasoline. Right here we got some tarp in here. We'll use that later if we need to. Got my pack laying right there on the tree, and then right here on the trailer for the hitch we just put a piece of wood to help basically that wheel not have too much pressure on it. And then this is the truck, basically cleaned out the back, just got some random stuff laying all around here. We'll just situate this once we get the other stuff done. Got my brother's stuff here. And then this is our tent. Chinu and I were gonna sleep in here. And pretty much just pretty simple. These are just like the pop-up tents. So you don't have to mess around with like threading in these poles and whatnot into like sleeves. But got stuff in here. Sleeping pads, sleeping bags. It's not gonna be too cold, I'm assuming. So we should be all right there. We just got some totes. Or not some, but a tote in here for other stuff. We did set up 2 tents here. Basically this one right here, the white one, is gonna be our chilling spot, because that way if it rains for some reason, we can sit in here and not have to worry about the rain hitting us. Just got generator. We'll put the generator in the bushes over there whenever we use it, because the generator can be a little bit loud, so you bring it the distance away from camp so you just don't have this little buzzing annoying everyone. Just buckets of goodies. These are the bags for these tents. We got a light. We did bring the generator. Like I said, there's the generator, so we will have lights in our tents. We got 2 propane canisters here. I don't know if canister is the right word, but you get what I mean. Technically, we should only need 1, but because we are staying here for essentially 1 week, it doesn't hurt to have 2. And then this is our burner, our stove for cooking. And then we have 1 table here and another table here. Got water and drinks underneath here. And this is our snack box. Just got a bunch of ramen here, and then chips and junk food. And then in here, we got the healthy stuff, fruits, peaches, stuff like that. This bag right here, we have maybe about 20 pounds of uncooked rice, because come on, what is camp without rice? So that's basically the gist of this little setup right here. Basically the same as last year. And then this is our view. Once again, it's kind of smoky, so it's not the like most visible, but for the most part you can see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off for today, and then I will see you guys in the morning when we go out and hunt tomorrow. Hopefully we get lucky tomorrow. It's a lot colder than I was anticipating. But anyway, made it out of the tent, and I'm gonna work my way back into the same little drainage where I shot my first ever squirrel last year. I left a trail cam down here last year as well, so while we are down in this drainage, we're also gonna go pick up my trail cam and go check out some photos, as long as my trail cam was working. shot my first squirrel last year. I shot my first squirrel like 100 yards down this way. And I had a gray squirrel climb up this tree. He stood there and watched me for like 20-30 seconds. But I was trying to get it on video. But I know there's a squirrel in this tree somewhere. He's just up in all of these branches where I can't see him. But I heard another squirrel barking over here too, so I think we're in the zone. I gotta find out where this squirrel went up in this tree. Squirrel up at the top of this tree. This squirrel is just laughing at me, but I can't see because there's all these branches blocking my view. He's just laughing at me. So we're just gonna wait. That's another squirrel down here. We're gonna wait this squirrel out. He's laughing at me. He's trying to make me mad. First shot, I just missed. Second shot, I think I blew out that pine cone from his hands. And then the third shot, I had a misfire. It was a perfect shot. The third shot, I had the cleanest shot of the squirrel in. I had a misfire. How far up is he?
Like 3/4.
Did he go up or down?
He went up a little bit, up to the next branch. You only saw one?
Saw them all. Well, oh, I see him. He's at the absolute top, dude.
Go on.
Dude, that's... I don't know. Let's shoot that.
When you saw him, Did he move?
Yeah, he's still up there. Way at the very top, but there's too much brush.
You can see it from there?
I can just see him when he's jumping around.
Oh,
He's moving around.
See its tail.
They're too shaky, dude.
He's going down. Yeah.
He's on the other side of the tree. Might be time to pull out the shotgun. We are off to a cold start, which is alright. It happens, that's hunting. Part of it is just, I'm just not executing my shots. But now, I'm working my way up from the top of this ridge, and I'm going down the ridge, and my trail cam is across on this other ridge over here. So I'm just gonna hunt my way down, cut down to the creek, hike up to the other side, go get my trail cam, and see if we can't run into a squirrel or a bear on the way. Looks like a turkey got demolished here. All the feathers. After a small struggle, finally found where I left my trail cam last year. So, I hope it works. The batteries are dead. We're gonna check the SD card together. Since I'm already sitting down and I feel dry air, I'm gonna take a pill of Claritin D. It's not very fun to have allergies, but at least there's some medicine to help you out. I don't know much about medicine and stuff like that, but when it comes to allergies, I've noticed that Claritin D is most effective if you take the pill before your nose starts getting runny and you start sneezing like crazy. So I can just start feeling my nose is starting to get irritated, so should be good there. I don't get this question a lot, but I do get this question time to time. People are like, what's in your first aid kit? And I'll share what's in my first aid kit, but the problem with me sharing my first aid kit is I might have some things in here that I need, but you don't need, and you might have some things that you need that I don't need, and so I don't have it in my first aid kit. So my first aid kit is just in this little marsupial gear pouch. I've got Claritin D, I've got gauze, band-aids, Neosporin, I've got Benadryl, I've got Advil, and then I've just got a emergency blanket and just other small items that I personally need should the situation call for it. That's basically it. The point is, you need to have a first aid kit that has the stuff that you need, you personally need, or your partners need, and you also need to know how to use it. So today is Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. Last year, September 6th, 2021 was when I left this trail cam here. So it's been 362 days since I last saw this trail cam. And now we're just gonna go through and see if we can see what this picture or this trail cam picked up. Oh, look at that. I got a picture of a squirrel the day after at 3 o'clock. That's a nice gray squirrel. And look at that. 4 o'clock, another gray squirrel came by. Definitely got a lot of squirrels. Got a deer. September 20th. Got some does. There's a decent amount of deer that come through. Look at that, just more squirrels. October 3rd. Got a small black bear. So we've got squirrels, we've got blacktails, and we got black bears. A lot of deer. Ooh, look at that. November 8th. Got a nice blacktail buck. He's probably rutting. That's why he's out here. There's a fat squirrel. Oh my goodness. November 14th. That's a solid blacktail buck. Nice 4x4 with eye guards. That is a dandy blacktail buck. Sweet. Our tactics right now is we just find a nice little spot where you can see, you know, some trees and just some little pockets of the ground, and you're just sitting and you're just essentially waiting to mainly hear them. You can see them, but a lot of times you hear them before you see them, because the ground floor is just a bunch of dried leaves, so when a squirrel is running, you can hear that rustling of those leaves. Second, if they're going up a tree, you can hear them scurrying up a tree just because of their little claws like hitting the bark going up. And then third, it's just the actual vocalizations of these squirrels. Sometimes you'll just hear these squirrels just start talking to one another, or sometimes they start barking at you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here just by this log right here, so that if a squirrel comes out this way, I have a rest for my rifle so I could get a much more steady shot. It's getting hot. Action has slowed down. Made it back to camp. My brother and my dad, they're making their way back to camp as well. I got whooped this morning. I don't know what was going on with my shot, but I was just not locked in shooting those squirrels. So as far as I know, we have 4 squirrels down. I have 0. My brother Chinu, he has 3, and my dad also has 1. So we have 4 squirrels from the morning hunt. Could have technically been 6, but yeah, let's just leave it at that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Well, since it's lunchtime, I'm just getting ready to eat lunch. Pretty simple stuff. Just gonna make use with the squirrel that Chinu and my dad got. So it's pretty much the main meal that we're gonna eat for the next several days. What we have here is lemongrass and garlic, and you just throw it over some hot oil, let it kind of just, you know, cook down, and then throw in your squirrel meat, brown the squirrel meat. And then once it's done browning, just add water, and then from there it's just adding your vegetables. Add salt and pepper to taste, and then on top of that, simple greens, cilantro, green onion. This is the main dish that we will eat throughout the next several days, and then just top it on top of white rice. Bullseye.
That's bullseye?
Mm-hmm. Maybe like a centimeter to the right, but you're touching a black dot.
Okay.
Pretty big cinnamon roll and some Lay's stacks. We're gonna snack while my dad and brother eventually work their way back. I'm just hungry, so I need to snack something before we eat dinner. This bread is so dry. As soon as you bite into it, like, it just saps all your saliva out of your mouth, and like you're swallowing a pretty dry piece of bread. I shouldn't be complaining though, because I just told you guys I was hungry, and now I'm complaining about something that's helping me not be hungry. But now that we're chilling, time to take off the boots, let the feet breathe, go into sandals. As much as I enjoy hunting, this is kind of the backbone to hunting. You get back to camp and you really just relax. Really puts your body at peace, really puts your mind at peace, and everything is just at peace. Day number 3. Sun is just peeking behind me. Snuck back into the same spot where I missed mine yesterday. No activity yet, but hopefully as the sun goes higher, these squirrels get awake and start running around here. There's a squirrel in the tree. 7:15 in the morning, and it seems like this squirrel just woke up. He's making some very soft calls right now, and I can't really pinpoint where he is, but yeah, he's in the trees. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hopefully they start moving more. I got him. Oh my goodness. There's another squirrel right here. My ear is ringing. I totally forgot to put my earplugs in. I've been sitting on this log, just waiting for these squirrels to come out, and the sun's finally high. And like throughout the past half hour, I've been hearing like a bunch of trees rustling, a lot of leaves rustling, but it's just a bunch of birds. And I was standing on this log, and I heard rustling right here. Let me turn you guys up. I heard rustling right up here, and I looked, and I was like, that's a squirrel. So he was gonna book it over here, and he stopped right on this little limb right up there, and 12 gauge paid off. Put it right on him, and he fell down. So I don't know if I got it on video, but guys, at this point, I'm so desperate to just get a squirrel down on the ground. Let's go check out the squirrel. I saw him come up right here, and that's when I turned on the camera, and then he went up to this branch right here, and I shot him right off of this branch. And it took him a little bit, but he eventually fell down. So hopefully he did not get up and run. Hopefully he just fell down and stayed put. Yes, sir. Oh, look at that. Even a shotgun. Even the shotgun got a perfect lung shot. Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Oh, so grateful, man. He's not a giant, but I'll take him. I can't even express to you how grateful I am to have this squirrel. So thankful, man. After what's been going on yesterday, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pull out the 12 gauge. Whew. I don't know if the camera got it because my tripod, like this is maximum height, and there was a brush right there, like covering that piece of dead log that this squirrel was standing on. Slightly bigger one than my first one, but 12 gauge produces, man. I shot him and I just saw him like fly off that log. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. I just had a squirrel just start making some noise. I think it's this way, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's this way. That one kicked hard. There's another one. There's two of them. I shot one. I'm not sure if this is the one to my right or if this was the one that is on the left. I feel like this is the one on the right side. The left one, I think, is still way up this tree. He's just hunkered down. That shot's gonna leave a bruise on my cheek. But number 3 down. We're waiting for the 4th one to show itself. I'm gonna go pick this one up. That's number 3. This one's another pretty good size one. Another bushy tail, number 3. This one's got a lot of weight to it. It is just shy of noon and nothing was really happening. It's getting a little bit warm now. And that second one never came back out. I don't know where it went, so I just decided to call it quits on that squirrel. But I do have our bag today, which is 3 squirrel. So I'm pretty content with what I have, especially with how yesterday went for me. We have a daily limit of 5, so this is 3 of my 5. I could shoot 2 more, but I'm happy with 3. So I'm just gonna hike my way back to camp. Chanu and my dad are still out hunting, so we'll just see how many they bring back. But go back to camp. Got some squirrel meat. Gonna eat some more squirrel stew, and then we shall see what the remainder of the day brings us. Everybody's back at camp now and making lunch using the 2 squirrels that we got from yesterday. Whatever you shoot first, you eat first. So just gonna cook up the regular stew. I'm in charge of this. So lemongrass, shallots, garlic, ginger, just fry it up in some oil. And then once those things are, you know, just slightly browned and whatnot, throw in your squirrel meat. Brown those up as well, and then once the squirrel meat is basically done, just add in water. That's your broth, and then add in your salt and pepper to taste. And then after that, you just throw in your herbs, green onions, cilantro, rosemary, whatever you want, and then that's pretty much it. Simple stuff, but always hits the spot, especially when you're out here camped in the mountains. Definitely more productive than yesterday. Yesterday we shot, everybody total we got 4. Today, this morning, we got 8, so we doubled. So definitely a work in progress, but we're going the right way.